Donald Trump made a lot of promises during his presidential campaign, but one that really caught the attention of a lot of retirees, and it certainly caught my attention, was his pledge to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits. Now, to be clear, we're not talking about the payroll taxes that workers pay to fund the program. We're talking about the tax retirees are required to pay if their incomes hit certain thresholds. Now, at first glance, Trump's pledge, well, it seems like a big win for seniors, and it is. Eliminating these taxes would ease the burden on retirees who are already struggling with shrinking savings and rising costs. But some very loud critics, they're arguing that losing this tax revenue, well, they're saying that it will create funding challenges for Social Security and potentially reduce benefit checks by double digits. Now, I don't buy this argument. I don't believe for a minute that Congress will ever let that happen. I think they'll finally be forced to step up and find a solution to keep our program fully funded. Before I go any further, I want to invite you to sign up for my breaking news email. It's the best way to get the news that matters most to you. And that news, it's delivered straight to your inbox as it happens. Just click on the link in the description to sign up. We're talking about how the system is currently set up when it comes to taxes on Social Security benefits. First, single filers, they're taxed on up to 50% of their benefits if they earn between $25,000 and $34,000 a year, and up to 85% if they earn over $34,000 a year. Married couples filing jointly, they're taxed on up to 50% of benefits if they earn between $32,000 and $44,000 a year, and up to 85% if their income exceeds $44,000 annually. Now, looking at these numbers, it's obvious to just about anyone that these earning limits are too low. They were set into law way back in 1983, and here's the kicker, those numbers, they've only been adjusted once, and that was in 1993. They haven't been indexed for inflation, meaning they haven't budged in over 40 years. Let's put this into perspective. If those earnings limits were adjusted for inflation, single filers wouldn't owe taxes until their income hit between $81,000 and $108,000 a year. For married couples filing jointly, the 50% tax threshold, well, that would jump to between $103,000 and $142,000, and the 85% threshold would apply only to income that exceeds $142,000 a year. Now, because earnings limits haven't been adjusted for inflation, which just seems logical considering everything else is adjusted for inflation, well, because it hasn't been adjusted, more and more retirees are being pulled into the tax system. And when this tax was first introduced, only 10% of Social Security recipients paid taxes on their benefits. Today, that number, it's nearly 50%. This brings up a big debate. Should Social Security benefits even be taxed in the first place? Well, one argument is this. Fairness. Retirees, they already paid into Social Security during their working years through payroll taxes, so why should they pay taxes again when they collect benefits? You know, many see this as double taxation, which can be especially tough for seniors who are living on fixed incomes. And here's the reality, about 10% of seniors live in poverty, and even more struggle to make ends meet. For many, Social Security, it's the only source of income they have. And adding taxes to these benefits, well, it makes an already challenging financial situation even harder. I watched a recent interview with Steve Forbes. He's the editor-in-chief of Forbes magazine. Now, he spoke out about how unfair the current system is for seniors who want to continue working while collecting Social Security. Now, Steve argues that they're being taxed both on their earnings and on their benefits. And he says this is an unnecessary double hit. Now, Forbes even proposed a long-term solution. He says let younger workers put payroll taxes into personal 401k style accounts where their benefits could grow far beyond what the current system is providing. Now, on the flip side, the argument for taxing Social Security benefits comes down to funding the program, and Social Security, as we all know, is facing a projected shortfall by 2035. Now, these same experts say that revenue from taxing Social Security, well, it helps delay that shortfall, and losing it would reduce federal revenue by $1.5 trillion over the next decade, enough, they say, to accelerate Social Security's insolvency by 1 year. The core issue here is this. The income thresholds, well, they haven't changed in decades. And unlike other Social Security metrics, these tax thresholds, they're not indexed for inflation. And that means that year after year, more seniors, well, they're being pulled into a tax system that wasn't originally designed to include them. And Trump's proposal to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits, well, it's putting this issue front and center. But yes, it does raise some tough questions. Question number one, are we easing the financial burden on seniors today only to create a bigger problem down the road when the loss of tax revenue could leave the program underfunded? And if that happens, how would we ensure the program can still be fully funded? Well, I think I can answer both questions. First, eliminating these taxes would provide much needed relief for seniors, and there's no argument about that. Second, I don't believe for a second, and I said this earlier, I don't believe politicians on either side of the aisle would ever allow benefits to be reduced. They would be finally forced to find a way to properly fund the program. So yes, absolutely, we believe Donald Trump's pledge to eliminate taxes on Social Security is the correct action and long overdue. Too many seniors have been pulled into this tax vortex because Washington sat on its hands for the last 40 years because it was an easy way to funnel funds into the Social Security system. But as we know, that idea, well, it hasn't worked out too well. What do you think? Should Social Security benefits be tax-free in retirement? Drop me a comment below, or you can shoot me an email. I'd love to hear your response, what your thoughts are. I also want to say this, though. When you do respond, I do my best to get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. But please, I will ask you to bear with me because I do get a lot of messages here. And also, before I forget, I want to make sure that you sign up for my breaking news email. It's the easiest way for you to stay informed on the news that truly matters to you. Also, if you're somebody who's looking to earn some extra income, maybe you're interested in starting a side hustle, well, then what you want to do is you want to check out my Side Hustle Rules, my other YouTube channel. On that channel, what I do is I tell you which side hustles have the best income potential. I tell you how to start them, and I also tell you how to make them grow. Now, before I forget, I do want to say if you found this information helpful, anything at all that you heard today and you want more, well, then don't forget to subscribe to Over 50 TV. Well, that's all I got for you. As I always say, thanks for watching, and have a great day, everybody.